Let's do some recordings. Lovely. And I haven't done it for the last couple of weeks. Let's have some intros.
Oh shit, I better mute.
Everybody at home. All right, so here we are. Right, so we did Family Fortunes a few weeks ago. I gave you maybe some rules that were too complicated. So this time round, I'm going to make it a little bit simpler. We're not going to have lives. You just get to have 7 answers. You're allowed to have 7 attempts at the following question. Now, remember, Family Fortunes, you're always looking for the most obvious answers. And your first round question is going to be, can you name me an actor or actress that has played a vampire? An actor or actress that has played a vampire. So you can write down up to 7 of them to give you an opportunity to have 3 lives. All right? So write down up to 7 actors or actresses that have played a vampire. That'll give us a chance to. So as usual with this, you want obvious answers. Obvious answers are good answers. And the scoring is going to still be a little bit wacky, but I could take you through it. There we go. Ian and Hannah are coming in. Evening, Chipper. We are starting off with the Family Fortunes round, so I'm looking for obvious answers. You're allowed to have 7 answers to this question. An actor or actress that has played a vampire. Okay, so write down up to 7 answers to that question. The more obvious, the better. Ooh. Yeah. Okie dokie. So a couple more minutes, and then as always, we'll go through your answers to round 1 and round 2 after round 2. Lovely. Hmm? Oh. All right. So you've had 5 minutes to have a little think about that, and 5 minutes to have people log in. So we're going to go straight into round 2. And this week's round 2 is based on oh no. So this week's round 2 is a slightly different vibe. This is going to be the one that I'm going to play along with you. So Hannah's prepared a selection of questions for us, and they're going to be general knowledge questions with 4 options rather than the 3. And there's going to be, did you say 8 questions?
I'm not sure.
Oh, she's going to 10 questions. Lovely. So she's got 10 questions for you and me, and we're going to go through them together. I don't know what they are. I don't know how difficult they're going to be. It's going to be a mystery. I'm going to play along with you, but I'm going to chase you. Now, you have the following options. You have one of 5 options, and you need to choose before we start. Do you think you are going to do much better than me, the same as me, worse than me, or much worse than me? All right, so those are your 5 options. If you think you're going to do much better than me and you get it, you can have 5 points. All right, so if you think you can get more than 2 more questions than I do, and my general knowledge is if you think you can get a lot more than I can, you can have 5 points if you get it right. If you think you can get just more than me, you can have 4 points. If you think you can get the same amount as me, that's 3 points. If you think you can't beat me and that I will in fact beat you, 2 points. And if you think you're going to do much worse than I am, then you can have 1 point. So if you think you're terrible at quizzes, go for the 1 point option. You can have that. But if you think you're going to do much better than me, you can go all the way up to 5. So how well do you think you'll do compared to me? I don't know what the questions are. So if you think you're going to get the same amount as me, that's worth 3 points. More is 4, less is 2, many more is 5, many fewer is 1. So make your mind up as to what you're going to go for, because just like in the chase, you've got to make a decision before you see the questions. They're all multiple choice. You got the questions ready? Lovely.
And as you click it, it will tell you if you're right or wrong. It will tell you what the right one is.
Beautiful. Okay, excellent first question. Okay, so has everybody made their choice? Yeah? You're going to beat me. I'm going to beat you. Which way around it's going to be? How many points you're going for? Because you don't get points for the questions. You get the points for beating me. All right, let's go. Question.
Keep the track of how many you get.
Well, it'll just show me on this, won't it? Question number 1. Vampires are typically known for turning into which animal? Is it a moose, a monkey, a cow, or a bat? Vampires are typically known for turning into which animal? A moose, a monkey, a cow, or a bat? I'm going to put in my answer. My answer is bat. And that is correct. So if you put down bat, you get 1, but I also got 1. Animals that can only eat plants are called what? Are they plantivores, herbivores, vegivores, or faunivores? Animals that can only eat plants are called what? Plantivores, herbivores, vegivores, or faunivores? And my answer, herbivores, and herbivores is correct. Oh, okay. Which American road runs from Chicago to Los Angeles? Which American road runs from Chicago to Los Angeles? Is it Route 66, the I-95, the Oregon Trail, or US 1? So which of those American roads runs from Chicago to Los Angeles? Is it Route 66, I-95, the Oregon Trail, or US 1? Okay, my answer to that is going to be Route 66, and that is correct. Route 66 is correct. Oh no. In Romeo and Juliet, what family is Juliet from? Is it the Capulets or the Montagues? In Romeo and Juliet, what family is Juliet from? Is it the Capulets or the Montagues? Well, I know it's one. Oh, there we go. We'll just wait for Flo to join in. Give me a mo. All right, Flo and Tilly. So at this point, I just want you to write down, going forward, do you think you're going to do better than me, the same as me, or as worse than me in these next few questions? That's your choice. All right. So the previous question, Romeo and Juliet, the family Juliet, I'm going to say the Capulets. Yes, it was the Capulets. Whichever question we're on. How many rounds are there in a single episode of the Great British Bake Off? How many rounds are there in a single episode of the Great British Bake Off? Is it 1, 2, 3, or 4? 1, 2, 3, or 4. I'm pretty sure I know this one. So how many rounds are there in a single episode of the Great British Bake Off? I think the answer is 3. And I am right. The answer is in fact 3. The next question, the prefix deca, D-E-C-A, deca, is associated with which number? Is it 1, 10, 100, or 1000? The prefix deca is associated with which number? 1, 10, 100, or 1000? All right. So my answer, I think this is, I mean, it's mathsy. I should know. I hope no. I think it's 10. It is indeed 10. Okay, next question. What type of school did Frenchie drop out of in Greece? What type of school did Frenchie drop out of in Greece? Is it beauty, archaeology, astrology, or botany? Beauty, archaeology, astrology, or botany? So with this one, I think she's got a song. I think it's Beauty. It is indeed Beauty. Beauty was the correct answer. I haven't gone wrong. Sorry, those of you who thought they were going to be beating me. I'm sure I'll probably get the next few wrong. Let's have a look. How did Bonnie and Clyde die? How did Bonnie and Clyde die? Is it A, nobody knows? B, they were stabbed by a double crosser? C, they were caught and gunned down by the police? Or D, they both contracted illnesses in prison? How did Bonnie and Clyde die? A, nobody knows. B, they were stabbed by a double crosser. C, they were caught and gunned down by the police. Or D, they both contracted illnesses in prison. I mean, I think I know, but I don't know. Let's have a go.
That's your options, isn't it? No.
I mean, those are my options indeed. Either I do or I don't. I think they were caught and gunned down by the police. Let's have a little look. Yes, they were caught and gunned down by the police. Oh, well, now I am just guessing. Our next question. What is the name of Billie Eilish's producer and songwriter brother? What is the name of Billie Eilish's producer and songwriter brother? I have no idea. Question is, the options are Liam, Phineas, Evan, and Ozzy. What is the name of Billie Eilish's producer and songwriter brother? Is it Liam, Phineas, F-I-N-N-E-A-S, Evan, or Ozzy? I genuinely have no idea. Billie Eilish's producer and songwriter brother. Phineas. I'm going to go with Phineas. Phineas is the correct answer. And it looks like your final question. What continent do acai berries originate on? What continent do acai berries originate on? Your options are Africa, South America, Asia, and Australia. What continent do acai berries originate on? Is it Africa, South America, Asia, or Australia? Genuinely no idea on this one. Acai berries, Africa, South America, Asia, Australia. I'm going to go with Australia. I was wrong. The correct answer is South America. Acai berries come from South America. So I got 9 there out of a possible 10. So if you got 10 and you thought you was going to do better than me, congrats. You can have 4 points. If you got exactly 9 and you thought you was going to do as well as I did, you can have 3 points. And if you got fewer than 9 points and you thought you was going to do worse, you can have 2. Thank you very much. Okay.
So we get no points for knowing any of those answers. It was just against you.
You're playing against me. It's like the chase.
Right, 0. Okay, thank you.
And your answers to round 1 as well. So, playing a vampire. If you said, so like we did before, you just need to add up all of the scores that I give you if you've got these answers as well, okay? So our first one is Christopher Lee. If you said Christopher Lee, that's a score of 40. Tom Cruise is a score of 15, 1-5. Bela Lugosi is a score of 12. Brad Pitt is a score of 9. And Peter Cushing is a score of 8. Christopher Lee is 40, Tom Cruise is 15, Bela Lugosi is 12, Brad Pitt is 9, and Peter Cushing is 8. So you take all of those numbers, you add them up, and you divide by 10. I just want the first number of your answer. That's your score for that round. So let's say you got Christopher Lee and Tom Cruise. That'll be 40 plus 15 to give you 55. So that's 5 points.
Got 3.
Sorry, Dan, can you say how many points each of the answers are again?
Of course. So Christopher Lee was 40 points. Tom Cruise was 15. Bela Lugosi was 12. Brad Pitt was 9. And Peter Cushing was 8. Add them up and divide by 10 for your final score. And then, as always, if you could pop your scores in the old chat, and Hannah will give them a little tally. All right. Again, a tentative one from week 1.
Dan, I'm remembering my fractions lessons from year 9 here, and I'm wondering whether we should be rounding up or rounding down.
That's a fair point. I just want you to ignore that last letter. So I want you to truncate it is the proper word for it. So always round it down.
Truncate that thing.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate.
That's right. Okay, so round number 3. All right. So I'm going to try giving you the right number of things this time round. and they should all be doable. Okay, so we're going to have 2 rounds of countdown. I'm going to give you a minute for these ones because people thought 30 seconds was too mean. So I'll give you a minute for each of these questions. In the first round, you'll have a bunch of letters, and in the second round, you'll have a bunch of numbers. So let's start with our letters. You have a minute to generate the longest word possible, and then I will give you some points based on your word. And as always, I'm just going to trust you to be right to generate actual words that make sense, not just some gobbledygook on a page. Your letters are D for Daniel, E for English, N for Norwegian, W for winkle picker, O for orange, E for egg, G for golf, K for koala, and L for Latvia. DENWOEGKL, and your time starts now. Goodness. All right. I accidentally put on an hour-long countdown timer. Apparently they exist. So, DENWOEGKL. So, if you have managed to generate a 9-letter word, you can have 5 points. I believe that word is knowledge. If you could only make an 8-letter word, that is worth 4 points. 7 letters is worth 3 points. 6 letters is worth 2, and 5-letter words are worth 1. All right. Round 2 in.
Current scores.
Sorry.
I just sent you some current scores.
Oh, thank you. Part 2 of round 3 is the numbers round. So as before, I'm going to give you a minute again. And this time round, I'm going to give you all 6 numbers from which you can add, subtract, multiply, divide, or use brackets to generate the target number. So your numbers this week are 5, 7, 2, 9, 1, and 50. So that's 5, 7, 2, 9, 1, and 50. And your target is 624. Once again, you have 1 minute. This is a 30-second timer, so I'm going to go through it twice. Off you go. That's half your time. All right, and that, folks, is your time. So you can all have points, depending on how close you got. So you were looking for 624. If you, no, let's not start that timer again. If you got 624, then you can have yourself 5 points. If you are one away, so 623 or 625, you can have 4 points. If you are within 3 points, within 3 numbers, sorry, so 621 to 627, you can have 3 points. If you got within 5, so that's 619 to 629, you can give yourself 2 points. And if you were 10 away, you can have 1 point. So 614 to 632, you can have 1 point. Add those two scores up, your numbers round and your letters round, and you can have yourself your point for this round. Goodness, goodness, some high scores, lovely. And whilst you're popping those in, I'm going to get the next here. Yes, scores so far. Thank you for reminding me, Hannah. So the scores so far, obviously without that last round, are oh, so not the current week's score. That is, yeah, that is right there. So in third, we have 4 teams in third. Mum and Dad, the Dingleberries, Alice, and Team Ingram. You're all in third. 2 teams in second. That's sorry, 1 team in second. That's just Ben and Emily. 2 people, 1 team. And currently in the lead is Chrissy and Rob. But obviously there's a lot of points to come. We'll see where those scores go as we go into our next round, which is
Kira said how many points was 2 off?
Hmm?
How many points was 2 off?
just endless loop of only connect intros. Right, so this is going to be your somewhat picture round as I get the PowerPoint ready. So slightly different to the last time we played this. Last time we played this, we had what's the fourth in the sequence. This time, I want you to find out what the link in the sequence is. So the quicker that you can get these sequences, or what the link is within these sequences, you can have more points. I am going to allow you to change your answer throughout, but if you can get it on the first clue, you can have 5 points. If you get it on the second, you can give yourself 3 points, and then 2, and then 1 point. And I will kind of tell you how many points you can generate at each point. All right. So I'm not looking for the fourth in the sequence. I'm looking for what is the connection between all of the answers in the sequence. All right. So just like we used to do in round 2 with the connections round, but I'm actually giving you the connections, the answers as it is. So question number 1, 2011 Freya Wilson. So if you think you know the connection with just this clue, you can write it down. You can have 5 points. But obviously I've made it purposely difficult at the start. 2011 Freya Wilson. Clue number 2, so now it's only worth 3 points. If you can get it from 2004, Neve Campbell. So both of those clues have some sort of link. There is one answer to this whole thing, and if you can get it from those 2 clues, you can have 3 points. So feel free to scribble something down. we're going to go into the third clue. This is now worth 2 points. 2016 to 2017, Claire Foy. 2016 to 2017, Claire Foy. So if you can get it from those 3 clues, you can have 2 points. Your final clue, though, will only be worth 1 point. Your final clue, 2019 to present, Olivia Colman. So if you can get the answer with those 4 clues, you can have yourself 1 point. But if you've got it before now, you can have 2, 3, or 5 points, depending on the number of clues you needed. I'm going to give you a little bit more time so that I'll go through the answer when we're done. All right, so the answer to that question is they are all actresses who have played the Queen. Freya Wilson was the Queen, like the child Queen in the King's Speech. 2004 was from Churchill, the Hollywood Years. 2016 to 2017 was the first 2 series of The Crown, and 2019 to present is series 3 and onwards of The Crown. So they've all played the Queen. Was the answer I was looking for. So if you got it from the first clue, that's worth 5. The second clue is 3, 2, and 1 as you go down. Right. So hopefully you got the vibe now. Let's go into question 2. We've got 4 questions. Clue number 1, 5, Roger Federer. 5, Roger Federer. So again, this is worth 5 points if you can get it now. Let's go down to 3 points. 4, Usain Bolt. No, sorry, this is worth 3 points. This is worth 3 points. 4, Usain Bolt. What is the connection between Roger Federer and Usain Bolt? Number of points is going down to 2 with the next clue. Clue number 3, 2, Tiger Woods. Again, feel free to have a stab at it. You can change your answer if you like. I'm not going to be that cruel. I gave you a cruel round 2, so that's a slightly nicer round 4. You have 2 points if you can get it from that. And your 4th clue, which is only worth 1 point, 2, Michael Schumacher. So if you needed Michael Schumacher, you get yourself 1 point. You may as well scribble something down if you don't know. I'm going to give you the answer. And the answer is, these are sports people who have won the Sportsman of the Year award on multiple occasions, who are the best in their fields. There's another tennis player who has also won multiple times, but those are 4 of them. So I'm just looking for people who have won Sportsman of the Year. Question number 3. Clue number 1, Cape Verde. If you can get it from Cape Verde, you can have 5 points. It's worth 5 points. Clue number 2, as before, is worth 3 points. Swaziland. Swaziland. If you can get the theme, the connection with these 2, that's worth 3 points. If you need the 3rd clue, it's going to be worth 2 points. Here it comes. Clue number 3, Holland. And your final clue will only be worth 1 point if you write down an answer from now. 1 point for the Irish Free State. What is the connection between those 4 things? Cape Verde, Swaziland, Holland, Irish Free State. And the final answer for that round is they are all defunct names. They are names that are no longer true for those countries. Irish Free State is now better known as the Republic of Ireland, or Erie, for example. The Netherlands, I can't remember what Swaziland is now, but Cape Verde has changed it as well. Question number 4. If you can get it on clue 1, you can have 5 points. That is a little arrow. So that's the word frog, letter T, and arrow R. Your second clue is coming in, so it's worth 3 points from now. So that's the word apple, the letter P, an arrow, and then the letters ST. I'm quite pleased with this round. Every now and again, I'm really chuffed with myself. Clue number 3 for 2 points. So that's the word Adam, the letter E, an arrow, and then the letters BELIE. And clue number 4 for 1 point, the word trouble, and then STR with a little arrow going to W. So I'll give you another few seconds to have a little think about what your answers are to that, just in case you want to change it. If you got it from the first, that's worth 5 points. Second one's 3. The third is worth 2. And the final one is worth 1. And the answer is Cockney rhyming slang. So they are something and something Cockney rhyming slangs. The first word is the word that you see. And the second word is the change that's needed for the rhyme. So it's frog and toad. The T changes to an R to give you road. Apple and pears to stairs. Eve to believe. And strife to wife. I'm looking for Cockney rhyming slang. That'll do me. No. And that was your only connect round. Ooh, some interesting scores there. I don't expect for people to be getting it on 5, but if you do, it's certainly going to help your scores. All right, so we've gone quite high class to very much the other end of the vibe. Whilst you're getting your scores in. We're going to play some Shooting Stars. I very much apologize to everybody for this. It's going to be a bit silly, but this time I'm going to be doing the silly things rather than you doing your weird shapes to hole in the wall. So don't mind me while I set these up. I mean, you don't need anybody to tell you that the greatest part of Shooting Stars is the pub singer round. I am going to give you a pub singer version of 5 songs, and I want you to tell me what songs they are. All right, so right, just setting up songs. All right, so for anybody who doesn't know, I don't know how niche this is. What a pub singer round is, I'm going to sing you a song in the style of a pub singer, and you need to tell me what it is. I'm going to give you hopefully a very obvious bit of that song. I just want to know what the title of the song is. Nothing more, nothing less. So what song am I just about to sing? What was I just singing? I mean, I sang it perfectly well. That was your question 1. I ain't repeating these, by the way. They can't be repeated. Question number 2 is going to be this one. Oh, there you go. Oh. I mean, yeah, you gotta have the elbows. You gotta have the elbows. Question number 3 is just want to get. Oh no, that's that one. All right. It's a banger. Okay. Question number 4. Uh-huh.
Lots of different people are checking that I'm okay.
Why?
Because there's someone losing their mind.
And your final question, because I'm only doing 5 of these, is and that was your question
Can I
5.
have a bit more of that, please?
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. I don't want to see any waggly fingers in this one. I'm not repeating any of those. No, absolutely not.
I haven't been stuck on the first one.
All right. So your answers for that round were: question number 1 was Two Tribes by Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Question number 2 was Paint It Back by the Rolling Stones. Question 3 was Girlfriend by Avril Lavigne. Question number 4 was Ironic by Alanis Morissette. And question number 5 was Total Eclipse of the Heart by Bonnie Tyler. You can have 1 point for each of those. I'm exhausted. I don't know how he deals with that, but then he doesn't do 5.
He's always drunk, that's how.
That is true. He's always drunk. Maybe that's what I need to be next time I do this. Yep. All right. So if you can make sure your scores are in, because our next round, I'm kind of liking the vibe of this pair of ending rounds. So let's go into. All right, so we're going to do another round of play your cards right. So as always, I'm going to be picking out the top 5 players, giving you the question, and then everybody else needs to go higher or lower. And if you are within 5% as the questioner, the person who I asked the question to, you can have a point, and then everybody else is just higher or lower. Okay. Can I just know who's first? And in the lead, oh, it's quite tight there. It looks like it's the Ingrams are first up. So the Ingrams, you're in the lead by a point. Your question is, in this week's YouGov survey, because I'm loving the week by week YouGov surveys, what percentage of the British public feel apathetic? In this week's YouGov survey, what percentage of the British public feel apathetic?
About 70%.
70% is the Ingram's answer there. I think 70%. You can go higher or lower, everybody else, than 70%. And your answer to that question, what percentage of the British public feel apathetic? It was 21%, much lower. So I was looking for lower. So if you've given me the answer lower, you can have a point. Ingrams, I'm afraid you didn't make a point in that round. Question number 2 goes to Alice. This question has been extracted from a 5-page study. Just a little bit of information for you. In this 2020 study, what percentage of women responded to the question, would you prefer to have or not have pockets large enough to fit your hands in when buying a dress? With, I would prefer to have pockets. So what percentage of women would prefer to have pockets large enough to fit their hands in when buying a dress?
I'm going to go with 66%.
66%. What do you think, guys? Higher or lower than 66%? You didn't get bang on the money, I'm afraid to say. And I will say that the silly little prizes will continue if you get it bang on the money. So higher or lower than 66% on a dress? And the answer is lower. Only 33% of responses said they wanted pockets on their dresses. I mean, that's not my understanding. 28% actively didn't want the pockets on their dresses. Question number 3 goes to, in third place, Stephanie and Gareth. This question goes to you. What percentage of people have a positive opinion of cycling? What percentage of people have a positive opinion on cycling?
Hey, we're going to go 46.
46%. Higher or lower, folks? For higher or lower than 46%. I can tell you that Stephanie and Gareth, you've just earned yourself a point, but it wasn't bang on the money. But it was 1 away. The correct answer is 45%. I was looking for lower. Question number 4, the team in fourth, is Abby. Abby, your question. In a recent YouGov survey, in response to this Monday, to the question, do you expect that the public will or will not behave responsibly when shops, pub gardens and outdoor restaurants reopen? What percentage of the public responded with they definitely will? When
So that they will behave.
do you expect the public will or will not behave? What percentage said they definitely will?
35%.
35%. Well, ladies and gents, do you think it's higher or lower than 35%? In a recent YouGov survey to the question, do you expect that the public will or will not behave responsibly in shops, pub gardens and outdoor restaurants reopen? What percentage said they definitely will? Abby, the queen of getting it on the money, didn't get it on the money. She didn't even get a point in this question. The correct answer that I was looking for everybody was lower. 2% of the British public thought everybody would behave themselves on Monday. Question number 5 goes to the team in 5th,
Chrissy and Rob.
which is Chrissy and Rob. Chrissy and Rob, your question is as follows. In a recent YouGov survey, to the question, do you expect that you will or will not behave responsibly when shops, pub gardens and outdoor restaurants reopen? What percentage of the population said, I definitely will? So when asked, will you, what percentage said, yeah, I will?
65.
65%. So higher or lower than 65%? Well, Chrissy and Rob, you have earned yourself another point in this final throes of this round because you are within 5%. You are 4% away. You said 65%. The answer was 69%. It was higher. All right. Let's squeeze in our last round as you pop in your final scores. In our last round, we are going to play QI. I'm not going to give you the intro because it's already 9 o'clock. So let's get these questions in. As always, you're going to have 5 relatively obscure questions, of which there are, I'm going to give you 3 options. One of them will gain you a point because it is correct. One of them will lose you a point because it is very much wrong or kind of thought of to be right and is wrong, and one of them will just get you no points. So you can lose one or you can gain one or nothing can happen. You're obviously free to not write an answer. Question number 1. What is the name of the flap of skin that What is the name of the flap of skin that hangs from the top of a turkey's beak? What is the name of the flap of skin that hangs from the top of a turkey's beak? Is it A, a hood, B, a scarf, or C, a snood? Hood, scarf, snood. What is the name of the thing that hangs from the top of a turkey's beak? Question number 2. For nearly 4,000 years, the Great Pyramids of Giza was the tallest man-made structure on Earth. What beat it? Was it A, the Eiffel Tower, B, Lincoln Cathedral, or C, the Statue of Liberty? For nearly 4,000 years, the Great Pyramids of Giza were the tallest man-made structure on Earth. What beat it? Was it A, the Eiffel Tower, B, Lincoln Cathedral, or C, the Statue of Liberty? Question number 3. The 1932 Olympics were held in LA during Prohibition. Who were exempt from this rule and were allowed to drink? In the 1932 Olympics were held in LA during Prohibition. Who were exempt from this rule and allowed to drink? Was it A, the members of the Olympic Committee, B, the members of the French team, or C, weightlifters? A, members of the Olympic Committee, B, members of the French team, or C, weightlifters? Question number 4. In Southwest Wales, there is a parish named after who? In Southwest Wales, there is a parish named after who? Was it St Cliff, St Elvis, or St Jagger? St Cliff, St Elvis, or St Jagger? And question number 5. Why are horse chestnut nuts called conkers? Why are horse chestnut nuts called conkers? Is it A, they're named after the game of conkers? Is it B, they were named after William the Conqueror? Or C, it's a corruption of the American city Yonkers? Why are horse chestnut nuts called conkers? Is it A, because of the game Conkers, B, they were named after William the Conqueror, or C, it is a corruption of the American city Yonkers? And that's your final question. If anybody would like me to repeat anything from that final round, I will be happy to do so. Waggle your fingers at me. No, that's just my cursor. We good? All right, let's do this. Question number 1. The name of the flap of skin that hangs atop the turkey's beak. 1 point if you said C, snood. You lose 1 point if you said scarf, B. A is nothing, B, scarf, lose 1 point, C, snood, gain 1 point. It's just named after the headwear. Number 2. 4,000 years, the Great Pyramids of Giza were the tallest man-made structure. It was beaten by B, Lincoln Cathedral. 1 point if you said B, Lincoln Cathedral. You lose 1 point if you said Eiffel Tower, the Eiffel Tower, A. Lose 1 point if you said Eiffel Tower. It held the title of tallest man-made structure until 1549, when it collapsed and was never rebuilt. Question number 3. During the 1932 Olympics, the correct answer were the members of the French team. They were allowed to drink. 1 point for members of the French team. You lose 1 point if you said members of the Olympic Committee, A. I'll lose a point if you said A, the Olympic Committee. Authorities argued that wine was part of the French diet. Question 4. In Southwest Wales, there is a parish named after St Elvis, B. Lose 1 point if you told me C, St Jagger. Elvis is an alternate name for Alibi, and it is in Pembrokeshire. Question 5. Horse chestnut nuts are called conkers because of the game Conkers. The game of Conkers came before horse chestnut nuts were called conkers. They come from the game originally being played with shells, and it derives from French in the same way as conch. You lose 1 point if you said William the Conqueror, B. All right, a roller coaster ride of a quiz there this week, I think, guys. I think I upset some people in round 2, but I think I pulled it back in round 5. So hopefully you've had a nice time this evening. As always, I will hopefully see you again next week. Pop your final scores in the old chat so Hannah can sort them out, and then we'll try and upload it tonight or in the next couple of days, certainly, and give you your scores as well. As always, it's a pleasure seeing all of your happy faces. I say happy, usually happy, sometimes going at me, but otherwise, much love to everybody. Take care, everyone. Have a great evening. Have a great week. Much love, everyone. Take care,
Thanks, Dan.
everybody.
See ya.
Beautiful singing.
Thanks.
Cheers,
Thanks.
Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
We loved it.